the reason that you invest is because the good typically outweighs the bad, but it has to be done intelligently and conscientiously. If you're throwing money around, then yeah, you're going to just lose money and that's it. You're going to have a lot of pain with no gain. But if you're thoughtful about how you invest and you're strategic and you have a conscious understanding to take calculated risks, then you're going to have the good outweigh the bad. So, yeah, so I might invest everything in this person that I want to be with in a relationship or in business or whatever. And sometimes it may not work out, but because I think about it very carefully, I minimize my probability of failure. So I minimize our probability of failure. So I'm not I'm not gonna go and just give my best to every pretty girl that walks by. I thought about whether this woman looks like she might be a fit, and I made that decision after much reflection. And now I'm gonna go 100% at this. Like I invest heavily in my wife because my wife is my teammate. My family is my team. And I can't, but I don't know what's going to happen. For all I know, like you have things happen. I mean, who knows? Maybe she'll bump into Idris Elba one day and decide to have a fling or something. Can you really blame her? I mean, he's a handsome man, right? And then suddenly I'll be on the class crying and saying my wife left me for Idris Elba. Then I have to go find him and beat him up. But still though, these things are out there, but you just do your best. You do your absolute best and you just roll with the punches. You can't stop the universe from happening, but you can minimize the probability that things can go wrong, right? So long, let me read the let's move forward. I want to show you all something. I did something really quick. So I told you I like making these little short films that just kind of I don't know why it just came to me, but I'm gonna share this with you. Let me go back to Instagram and find it. I done lost my Instagram page. Hold on. This is called generational curses, and this is something that I thought about. This is what I visualized when I thought about what happens when you try to do something different from what your ancestors have done or what society wants you to do. Like you're trying to be an owner when the world wants you to be a renter, or you're trying to be an investor when your family has never invested. And it's almost like you have these forces that are like trying to stop you. And in my mind, I visualize them as ghosts and demons that they want to haunt you in the night that just really make you have to have a blood sacrifice damn near in order to rise out of that. Where there's a lot of what you find actually, let me just stop sharing from this. It's just, it reminds me of the movie of the Avengers. If you remember in the Avengers, you had Thanos who wanted to become the most powerful man in the universe. And in order for him to do that, he had to make a sacrifice that was so painful that he didn't want to, it was so painful that he didn't want to do it, right? Like they call it the soul stone, right? And I almost feel like that's what happens when you really elevate out of something and you really choose to be, to go to a different level and to have a different life or to become great at something, you're going to make a sacrifice that's really going to make you sometimes even wonder if it's worth it. And I remember that's why I cried when I walked across the stage at my graduation, and I saw the video yesterday. I was crying, and the reason I was crying was because the sacrifice was greater than I thought it was going to be. Like it was so unbelievable, right? And so on one hand, the trade-off is that you get this very rare outcome. I talked to my friend at Morehouse yesterday, and I said, what? Why can't Morehouse doesn't have more African American male faculty? And she said, Boyce, she said, there aren't many people out there like you that have a real PhD in finance. Like, and then when they come along, white people by these white universities, and I was like, oh, I guess it's still gonna rare.